Hey boys and girls, welcome back to my channel. I almost feel like a YouTube star. Not really. But anyway, I have to say I loved seeing all of your lighthouses that you guys made and colored and drew over the last few weeks. They were absolutely amazing, so colorful, so vibrant. I loved all the hard work that you guys put into them. I hope you enjoyed your spring break. I can't wait to dive into some new science lessons with you guys. I am very excited to go on this new journey with you and see where it brings us. So today, I thought we'd start exploring maybe some plants. It's springtime, things are budding outside, things are growing, and I know when I went outside in my yard the other day, I had some little purple and white Johnny jump ups in the yard. Now, Johnny jump ups are really cool because they jump up anywhere all over the yard. I had some really pretty dark purple ones up in the front of my yard, and then when I went into the back of my yard, I had some white and purple ones in the back of the yard. So you never know where they're going to pop up. That's why they're called Johnny jump ups, because they jump up all over the place. And as I was observing them and looking at them, I wondered, why do flowers look so different? What's the big deal with them? Every flower is a little bit different. So today I thought we would explore the different parts of a plant. There are 4 main parts of a plant. So we're going to talk about what the 4 main parts of a plant are, and we're going to see why each one is so important to a plant and why each one has such a major role. And at the end, we're going to try to make our own flower, and we're going to see what happens see if we can truly make a flower. Mrs. Matai started an experiment before I got online with you guys today. And I started to see if I could turn a white rose. Sweet smell of a rose. A rose by any other name is just a rose, boys and girls. But anyway, I thought maybe I could turn a white rose into something different. I wonder, could I make it blue? Could I make it red? Could I make it both colors at once? How could I do that? What could I do to make that happen? So I started with one, and you might be able to see this one starting to turn blue on the edges. And this one over here is starting to turn pink. How is that happening? And I even have one, boys and girls. I have to hide my secrets from you. This one is turning blue and pink. What could I possibly be doing to my flowers behind the screen to make that happen? Now, I'm not going to show you the end result. I'll have to hop on in the morning maybe and send you a picture on your Class Dojos or your Teams pages to show you the finished project, because I think it's going to take longer than an hour, but we'll see. So today we're going to talk about the 4 parts of a plant. There are 4 main parts of the plant, and each part has its own specific job or purpose as to why it's there. So let's start. Now, you can draw a picture of a flower or a plant, or you can see if Mom or Dad can print a flower off online for you, but I printed one off, and mine says parts of a plant. And you can see there's 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to start below this line right here. This is the dirt. So we're going to start in the dirt. What do you think this is right here? What do you think its job is? What's it there for? If you look kind of like a hand. So what do you think? Those are actually called roots. Now, the roots of a plant have a main purpose. Kind of grab on. So if you take your hand and you hold on to someone else's hand, kind of holds on to things. You can hold on to different stuff when you get up in the when you grab on. So the roots of a plant hold on to the dirt So the plant doesn't go anywhere. It kind of acts like an anchor or a hand, and it grabs on. So the roots hold a plant in place. So what are the job of a roots are? To hold the plant in place. If I was taking notes, I would say holds a plant in place. Now, that's what its job is, to hold a plant in place. It grabs onto that dirt and it keeps it there. Now, that's not its only job, but that's one of the main jobs. I wonder what else its job could be. Let's think for a minute. What else could the roots be? Now, if you remember back in class from last year, maybe if you were in 4th grade, or even in 2nd grade, even in kindergarten, we've watched it on the Magic School Bus videos, because you know we like to watch our Magic School Bus videos every once in a while. The roots also, if we pour water and the water seeps down from the clouds, it takes in water from the soil and nutrients. Nutrients are like food, and food from soil. So the job of the roots, remember, hand grabs the soil, and then if there's any water in there, it acts like the opening of the straw, and it takes in that water from the soil. And what attaches from the roots? What grows up? That's that long, so if we have the roots holding in place, now we have the roots. What's this long thing right here? This is called that's right, it's a stem. Now, what's a stem help the flower do? Well, without a stem, we would just have a flower sitting on the ground, or some moss. Moss don't have stems. They just kind of sit there like sponges. We would have a flower sitting in a cup. So a stem does what? That long, tall thing, that's called a stem. What's a stem do? Makes the flower stand nice, and it does. It makes the flower stand nice and tall, makes the tree stand up nice and tall. It also does something else very, very important. Let's think about that flower I showed you at the beginning. Let's look at that again. Cut off all my roots. I'm kind of left with a stem here. I had it sitting. How am I making that flower turn blue? Because it was white before. How am I making that flower turn blue? I didn't spray it. If the roots take up the water, or take in the water, how do the water get from here all the way up to the top? What do you think? What does that stem act like? That's right, it's just like a straw. It goes up to the top just like a straw. So it carries, it's like an elevator. It goes all the way up to the top, and it brings water to the different parts of the flower. Maybe the leaves over here need some water, or maybe the flower on the top needs some water too. So it brings water all the way up to the top. So there you go. Now my flower that doesn't have a stem before definitely has a stem now. So we go from the roots, taking in the water, and it carries up to the top. And along the way, it could drop off and have some water to the leaves. So the stem makes the flower stand tall, and then it carries water and food to the top of the flower. Absolutely, good job. Next, we have these lovely little things here called leaves. Leaves have a really important job. What do you think leaves do? Little ants could scary and sit underneath them. Caterpillars like to eat them. Bugs munch on them. I don't think they taste very good to me. I like lettuce, but not so much a leaf. What do you think leaves are there on the trees for, or on a plant? They're not just there for decoration. They have a very important role. What do you think? I think of leaves like a kitchen. Yep, I said kitchen. Leaves have a really important job. You ever wonder why plants are green? That's because of the leaves. Inside the leaves, there's underneath. If we had a microscope home, and I don't have my good microscope because I left it at school, but if we were to look underneath, we would see something called a stoma. And it opens up like this. And it takes in the carbon dioxide from the air and releases oxygen to us. And then, this is the site of photosynthesis. Can you say that word? That's a really big word, boys and girls. Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the site that happens in the leaves. And this, now, not all plants just use the food that, now we can give plants plant food, absolutely. But plants make their own food through a process called photosynthesis. There's a huge chemical formula that they can use that we can break it down because we're scientists and we figure those things out. But it's called photosynthesis. And they release something called glucose, which is a fancy name for sugar. And it's done right here in this leaf. That's why leaves are green. So it's chlorophyll and chloroplasts are all found in here, and that's the green stuff inside a leaf. And it's also made glucose. And that's the stuff that plants use to make them grow. We like sugar, so do plants. It's photosynthesis. And the last part of the flower, of the plant, is the flower. Now roses, some roses smell really sweet. Some roses smell really strong. Some flowers, ooh, they are stinky. I mean, really, really stinky. But what is the job of the flower? We've gone through the roots hold the plant in place and taken water and nutrients from the soil. The stem makes the plant stand nice and tall and carries water up and down and nutrients up and down. The leaf acts like a kitchen, and that's where photosynthesis takes place and makes food for the plant. And then we have the flower. What's the flower's job, boys and girls? Well, the flower is there just to look beautiful. Something has to be pretty up there. Something has to say, hey, everybody, come and look at me. Come and see me. Come on over. Come and smell my flower. Come and look at me. Come on, come on. You know they come on over. Now, some animals are attracted because of the smell. Some of us are attracted because it looks pretty. That is because we think something smells bad doesn't mean other animals think it smells bad. Trust me, everybody is attracted to something. But when we walk over and smell, we get attracted, pollen gets stuck to us, and then we carry it on to the next flower and it falls off. And boys and girls, that's how new flowers get created. And that's how plants spread. It's called pollination. And that's how more flowers get made. So this flower has a very important job. That's how more seeds are made. So just because it looks pretty doesn't mean we don't have a very important job. Got that? So flowers are there just to look pretty, but it is the site of reproduction. That's where more flowers are made. So if I were to peel back this entire flower and show you inside, this will take a long time. That's okay. To the bud of the flower. I hate this. It's so pretty. This is what happens when a plant flower goes to seed. All of the petals on the flower fall off. Yep, that's right. They all fall off. And they fall down. And you're left with what's inside. It's very sad. Oh, that's okay. And inside here, you have the flower. And you have the seeds right here. And all these little things. And they're really hard to see. Let me see if I can get in there for you. Oh, there they are. All these little things. That's where new seeds are formed. And because they smell good, can you see? All those new things, those are new seeds waiting to go and be pollen and get more pollen from other flowers and have you or I or a bumblebee or a butterfly or a bird take it to another flower. And because of the pollen, more seeds will be made and get carried away. So a flower's job is very important, boys and girls. Very, very important. So, now, you didn't think this was just going to be a boring science lesson, did you? You knew we have to do something. I thought it would be really fun if we tried to make our own flower. Now, all you're going to need for today is a cup. I used a little styrofoam cup. You can use a glass cup, you can use a plastic cup, whatever you have at home. You're going to need some food coloring and a straw. Now, I picked this straw up at Chick-fil-A. You know how they have them? I just grabbed a couple extra. So if you get a chance, you can go to 7-Eleven. You can get a Slurpee straw or a straw for their to-go cups. I also have a really big one. So for my little friends, my kindergarten friends, my first graders, you can get a really big straw because they're a little bit easier to handle. But for my 5th and 4th graders and some of my 3rd graders, you can use this size straw. Now, the best way to do this is have mom and dad help you with a pair of scissors and go ahead and cut it in half. You can take the Slurpee straw or the big straw and you can do the same thing and cut that one in half too. Okay, so you have 2. And that's just so if you want to make 2 flowers, you can make 2 flowers. Not a big deal. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you can use tissues, you can use toilet paper. I chose to use paper towels. My daughter's over there dancing, acting a fool in the corner, thinking she's going to make me laugh. Now she has to come over and say hello. She's supposed to be pretending to do schoolwork because she thinks she doesn't have any. She has IXL. She's supposed to be doing boys and girls. Now, so I used, want to make a flower, Aubrey?
No, I want to hold my cat.
No, so he doesn't crawl on the keyboard like he did last time. I have a paper towel. You can use tissue. I took my paper towel and it was stuck together, so I made 2. Get on my picture. I'm teaching. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make one.
No. Yeah, I do.
So we have to figure out, we're going to make some roots. We're going to make, this is the stem, and make a flower. So how are we going to turn our flower? We don't want a white flower, we want a colorful flower. So we are going to,
Do I take one too?
sure.
This one?
Yeah, if you want to. We're going to feed this all the way through. Now, the whole idea, boys and girls, is think about how water travels up a straw. Now, when you suck on it, you make the water travel yourself, right? I know, don't worry about it. You make the water travel yourself. But in a flower, and I'll show you the inside of a flower in just a minute, but in a flower, you want it to go all the way up through. So there's something inside the flower that's going to help us do that. Oh, I already got hers all the way in. But you want a big root. You want something that's going to grab onto that water.
So keep going.
I would. Because you want a really good root system. don't want to, you're going to make your flower on the top. Mrs. Mattice didn't turn this very tight. Oh, that's a good one.
Twist it really, really tight before you stick it through the straw.
Yep, that is the key.
I mean, you can just kind of scoot the straw down however far you want it to go.
And then you can kind of make your flower look however you want on the top. So she's got, kind of looks like a calla lily on the top. Now don't pull, because if you pull the root, you'll pull the root right off. And we don't want that to happen. So we're going to do, so the more you have jammed in there, the better off. And this won't take very long at all. So once you get it in there, okay, so I'm going to cut mine down just a little bit. Yep. Yours is good. So now here's the key, boys and girls. Listen, because if you don't listen, this is not going to work, okay? So we're going to pour a little bit of the water into my cup. We're going to use that one in just a minute. We're going to make two. So now we're going to pick the food coloring. What color do you want, Aubrey?
Orange.
So Aubrey says orange. To make orange, we're going to need red and yellow. Let's see. So I'm going to add some yellow. And just a couple drops, maybe 4. So you want to add the food coloring and the water first. Okay? Now, we're going to put these into our cup. We're going to see if we did this right. The tops will change color. And we're going to set that one aside. Now we're going to do the big one. This one should be a little bit easier to fill because it's bigger. So for my littler friends, make the big slurpy straws work easier.
Make sure to twist it really, really tight.
Yeah. Remember, the tighter you pack it down in there, the more it is going.
Oh, you have color starting to come up on yours.
Oh, yep. Now this one I kind of made a little bit of a rosebud here. This one I'm going to fan out this one we'll leave right in this cup here. And we'll make this one red and blue, because red and blue when you mix together makes
Purple.
purple. Good job, Aubrey. You pay attention to Dr. Cherry's class when you had her. Aubrey went to Fitzgerald too, boys and girls, just in case you didn't know that.
4th and 5th grade.
Yep. Now, so I have kind of a rosebud, and Aubrey's kind of got a calla lily bud, I guess. Okay, so here we go. Now, boys and girls, you can see that mine has started to change color. Now, if you remember what we said, the roots are taking in the water, and so here we go. We're going to drop this one in and see what happens. And the straws are like stems. And then inside. So I told you I would show you what's inside a flower. So I'm going to cut this off here. Let me see this, please. And if I show you inside, it's not empty. So inside the flower straw or the stem is this white stuff. So it's not hollow inside. So it's called xylem and phloem. So there's like little elevators. One goes up and one goes down. And again, if we had a microscope, we can actually see what that looks like. So, boys and girls, it's kind of cool what you can do. But we can travel, and the water travels up and down, and you can see this one's really starting to turn orange. It's really orange on the bottom. It's getting there because Aubrey's is getting wet on the top. So Aubrey's is just starting to turn now. Well, you can see him. You can see him chasing up chasing the water's chasing up. It's flowing up through.
Oh, this one's getting really colored now.
Yeah.
It's like not white anymore.
So, I told you in the beginning I would show you my trick on how I got the roses to change color, and they're really starting to change now. So if I leave them in probably for the next few hours, they'll really turn color. And I told you I would show you at the end of our video. So I'm going to bring over my little magic trick here. It's not really magic, it's just science. So what I did is I have red food coloring on this side, and I have blue food coloring on this side. So this one you can see is really starting to turn blue along the edges. So I pull this out, you can see the blue along the edges here. And this one, the whole thing is starting to turn pink. It's got, especially on the edges on the inside and along the edges. Now this one, if I take this one, unclip it, this one is starting to turn blue here along the edges, and it's starting to turn pink in the center here and along the edges. And the reason that's doing that is because I split it, and you can see the inside of one is blue and the inside on the other is red. So I'm going to stick those back in the water, and we're going to see what happens if I leave those over the next hour or two and see if they really turn different colors. And I'll come back and I'll take a picture of the final product, and I'll put it up on my page, and I'll put it up on Class Dojo to see what really happened to them. Boys and girls, I'm going to attach this link to your teacher's pages so you guys can try the experiment at home. I can't wait to see. There's some questions that are going to be at the bottom of the page for you to answer as well. Draw your flowers, label your parts. You can send the assignment into your teacher and post it there. You can color it and make it look snazzy as always. You guys do a great job when you do. I love to see your artwork when it's all done. I love to see what you're learning in science. Next week when we tune in, we're going to learn to stick with our plant theme. We're going to start planting. I'm going to show you how to grow a bean in a plastic bag. I can't wait to see you then. Talk to you later. Have some fun with science. Make some observations. See what flowers have been blooming up. I've seen some tulips in the neighborhood. I've seen some crocuses. See what you can see. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, boys and girls.